possibly be coming up that's on our schedule?
The only one I talked to them about was Deer Path. They asked me when we had that schedule, and I told them because they have, the end of that. Now, we're planning on coming in on Deer Path at this point and reconstructing it with curb and gutter, and they don't normally do that with their roads, so we have kind of a mismatch in what the treatment would be. But that was the only one that I talked to them about.
Okay, may I continue?
Alderman Wesley?
Is there any engineering cost in this for resurfacing, or?
Well, if there is, they would have done it, but it's minimal for a resurfacing job. They had to put the contract documents together, which I'm sure was a lot of work, but just adding our section wouldn't have been,
And they do
that
the
much.
plowing for this street, correct?
excuse me?
They do the plowing for this street, no? The snow plowing?
Do you know if they plow?
Mr. Kramer?
Historically, I know we do a portion of that road, and I think it's kind of first come, first serve. Whoever gets to it first does the plowing on that street. They help us out when we're either behind, or we help them out when they're behind, kind of vice versa. There's no real distinct boundaries there. But since we do own a third of it, traditionally that is our responsibility. But we do help them out, and they help us out. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Alderman Shockey?
I'm not here, I've been sure if I heard Roy mention that they have done and paid for the engineering, so we wouldn't have to pay for the engineering on that part of the road. Can I answer that?
Let me go to Mr. Graff, and then I'll get you, Mr. Alderman Coles.
They're not asking for any sort of reimbursement on engineering, just for the construction.
Alderman Coles?
The street is all marked off already. I was there today. I went by the street today. It's all marked off all the way to Wooddale Road. They got the signs, the arrows, and everything, what they're gonna do. On the street already.
Let me go to Mr. Douthwaite on the question of whether this requires a budget amendment or there's sufficient funds in the road construction line items.
We've achieved several savings in some of our construction contracts over the past year, probably because of the economy. And if you take a look at the memo that Mr. Graff sent you last week, we indicated that we can pay for this project through savings in some other construction contracts that we've already awarded. So there won't be a bid or a budget amendment required. We've got that within the capital improvement program.
Let me go to Alderman Cadell, and then I'll recognize you, Alderman, please.
Two things. It's only a resurfacing. I can't imagine there's a lot of dollars in engineering here. Second, we've just because we've made, we've been able to identify savings, maybe due to the economy and some of staff's original budgets, doesn't mean that we do a project that's just not time to do. We've got other more pressing things, as people in this audience can attest to, in my opinion.
Alderman, please.
So, since we've saved money in the capital improvement projects, when these engineering studies come through, if there's $70,000 worth of work in one of these, Cedar, Windsor, Forest View, wherever, that money comes out of capital improvements, correct?
That's correct.
And that's where it's gonna stay.
Anything further? Roll call.
Alderman Police,
No.
Alderman E. Wesley,
No.
Alderman Cadella,
No.
Alderman Coles,
No.
Alderman R. Wesley,
Yes.
Alderman Shockey.
Yes.
All right, that fails.
That's not in my report, Mayor.
That brings us Finance Administration. Alderman, please.
We have one item on the agenda, contract award for the implemented post-VoIP phone system. We had staff sent out recommendation for bids to 8 companies. We received quotes on 3 of them. The low bid was Insight at $21,526. My motion is to concur with staff and recommend a contract award to Insight in the amount not to exceed $21,526 for the purchase of the necessary phone equipment to implement a hosted VoIP phone solution.
Is there a second?
Second.
On the question? Alderman Wesley?
I have one question. Jeff, on this phone system, this is for new phones and everything. Installed, the whole works.
Mr. Murmas?
21, we're working with two separate companies for our phone system. One is the company that hosts the phone system for us, and the other contract is for the equipment of the phones. So the council's already approved the hosting at a previous council meeting, so that's already done. This was for the purchase of the equipment.
Thank you.
Anything further? Roll call.
Alderman Felice,
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley,
Yes.
Alderman Cadella,
Yes.
Alderman Coles,
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley,
Yes.
Alderman Shockey.
Yes.
That passes. Does that complete your report, Alderman, please?
That completes my report.
That brings us back to item 8, removed from the omnibus agenda. May I have a motion to approve a contract award to B&G Contract, 2009 sidewalk program, amount not to exceed $30,739.
Mr. Mayor,
Alderman Shockey,
may I make a motion to table?
is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Although I should have clarified. Table to committee.
To committee next week.
Very good. That brings us to item 12. May I have a motion to approve partial payment in the amount of $284,357.52 to R.W. Duntman Company for 2009 street improvements. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
On the question.
Question, Mayor.
Alderman Wesley.
Could you tell me what streets these are that were done that we're paying out?
Mr. Graff.
The streets in this year's resurfacing program are
For
Elizabeth.
the one we are paying out for bills now.
Well, this first payment is mainly for the concrete work, the curb and gutter replacement work that was done a few weeks back. It's not for the work they've just been doing these last couple of weeks. That'll show up in a pay request of committee next week. So this is the curb and gutter work on Edgewood, North Cedar,
So wait,
Walnut, and Roberts.
so you're trying to tell me this is just for curbs and gutter, not asphalt?
Right, this is,
Okay.
again, there's always a lag time between when the work's done and when the invoice comes to you, but this is for work that was done several weeks ago.
I just want to make sure it is not done for asphalt right now, because obviously there's been some discussion on the street contract right
This is
now.
for the concrete work.
Okay.
Anything further? Roll call.
Alderman Felice,
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley,
Yes.
Alderman Cadella,
Yes.
Alderman Coles,
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley,
Yes.
Alderman Shockey.
No.
That passes. There is no other items on under the business. We do not need an executive session. There are no items to be referred. There are no items for information only. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Is there a second? Sorry, I forgot. Alderman Wesley.
Under other business, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to talk about a committee, and I don't know what committee it belongs under, about doing stuff in-house, tree trimming, concrete, about doing projects in-house.
That would be Public Works. So Alderman Wesley, would you add that to your next agenda?
Sure, Mayor. That's what you're requesting.
Or the following meeting thereafter, as soon as staff can get something together? That'll be added
May
to a
I ask-
future.
May I ask the Alderman contact the Wally and what items we are looking at, or are we looking at the whole entire City Hall?
What we can do and what we can't do.
Well, could
I
you
will be-
contact and
Sure.
let him know? Thank you.
And I got one more announcement. John brought it up earlier. We're having our Ward 2 ward meeting on September 28th at 6:30 here. And representative from the county board, Don Potowski will be here. President Dewey Parati will be here. And Representative Dennis Rebeletti will be here. So everyone from Ward 2, mark your calendar, 6:30. refreshments will be served.
I spoke with Mr. Parati tonight. He may not be at your ward meeting. It's not definite, not confirmed.
I will I will contact Marcia Murphy then.
Oh, yeah. Anything further? Was there a motion on the floor to adjourn? There was or was not? All right, there's a motion on the floor to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.